as we enter the last heat. It's just one seat open for the chance to become European champion.
Welcome to the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. I'm Roxanne Ciordi and I'm here with Jesse May. Jesse, now you're obviously a fashion connoisseur. What does what you wear at the poker table say about you?
Well, thanks, Roxanne. I've always tried to be at the forefront of the movement that brings the poker table and the Salvation Army closer together. But, you know, what you wear at the poker table goes a long way towards creating your table image. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we had Andy Pyra come in, and he just looked like a gambler. Rumpled suit, white collar askew. It took the players a long time to work out that Andy wasn't gambling at all, but playing very conservatively.
Now, Pippa Flanders, she's quite the opposite. She has her little stuffed animals, she's dressed very conservatively, but her poker style is outrageous. Bluffing, yet still looking very demure.
Pippa's my hero. I mean, no one has caught on to her, and I don't think anyone ever will. You know, no one would believe that someone that looks so tight and demure, as you say, as Pippa, and brings a donkey to the table, is at it. No one will call her, and who knows if they ever will.
Sunglasses on and medallions at the ready. Let's see who's at the table tonight and who's wearing what.
One half of a pair of poker-playing brothers. It's the Lizard, Darren Bloom. Barrow, longtime poker player, looking for a first-time win. Qualified through a charity to get here, Gavin Alexander. From the gut shot, it's John Charalambous. From Blackpool, a man who finished 4th in this event last year, Dave Clayton. And from Hartford, rounding out the table is Dave Courtney.
Poker is a game of skill and a game of luck, but when it comes to the crunch, you have to be prepared to push your chips over the line and take that jump in the dark. Tonight, the last 6 players of round 1 take it to the felt to win a seat in the semifinal.
The final heat of the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. There's only one seat open in the last semifinal. 6 players vying to take it down. Grab hold of that $360,000 prize pool. Darren Bloom looking to make his mark. Barrow. A lot of tough players tonight who have tried many times in this televised format and are looking to break on to the other side. Although Dave Clayton has done it already, and I would imagine he's the favorite. This format features players starting with 100,000 in tournament chips, as you know. The yellows are worth 1,000, the blues are 2, and the reds 5K apiece. You must get every chip. There's 600,000 in play. Jesse May here with the Razor, Ian Fraser. And Ian, one player I'm guessing you know is Dave Clayton. When you won this tournament last year, he was at that final table briefly.
Yeah, very good player, Jesse. He'll be one, if he gets his fair share of the cards, he'll definitely be mixing it up at the end, I should imagine.
If it is your first time here, you just don't want to be knocked out in the first 2 or 3 hands.
Yeah, well, it is quite intimidating. You know, you've got the pressure of the tournament anyway, and, you know, the lead up to actually coming and sitting down, all the cameras around.
Raised to 6,000 total.
It is quite intimidating. You don't want to go through all that ritual just to go out first couple of hands.
This is going to be a field play here for the snake. Ace-Jack, a lot of people would fold this to an early raise.
Yeah, but we've already seen the first couple of hands, he's put his bets out early, hasn't he? He's not frightened to get his chips in.
6,000
20,000
plus
total.
14, and I mean, all you can say about Darren Bloom is he's dead right here. Do you think he's
Pass.
gambling a little bit, or
yeah?
and just
All 4 aces are out here, Jesse.
Oh wow!
Pass.
Yeah, you're right. Gavin Alexander and Barrow both folding the ace, and Dave Courtney here going to peel off the flop. He's in a bit of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble, really. I mean,
Yeah.
He's in terrible trouble.
Well, we know we're not going to see an ace come down, so.
Couple of clubs. And this is
18.
a nice play.
18,000.
Yeah. These guys know, Jesse, the first one to get their chips in has got the edge automatically, unless he comes over the top now, which will be fantastic.
I mean, you know, you'd call Courtney's bet here suicidal, but it's somehow brilliant.
Yeah.
Is it just a stab 18,000 to win the pot?
Well, it ain't a bad flop to have a bet on. You know, a raise and a re-raise and a call. You know, he's got to be putting him on a queen. You know, you're not going to have any of the 6-9 unless you've hit trip. So.
Right, and I mean, I guess the card that for a re-raise, or the card that he's least likely to have, is a queen. I mean, he either has ace-king or he's got a big pair or something like that. And Courtney takes that down. It looked like a very unwise call, but he's got the money.
He's got everything. He's got the thrill aspect, he's got the gamble at it, and the great thing I like about the best, the destiny's in your own hands. If you make a bad mistake, you know it's down to you, or if you get unlucky. And if you make a bad decision, you can't blame no one else but yourself. That's what I like about it. Playing cards every single day would certainly stress me out quite a bit. It's nice, I can sort of play once or twice a week and enjoy it. And it's great I haven't got to rely on the money, on winnings. It's nice when I win, I can give it to the wife and we can go on a nice holiday or something. That's why I look at it. I love playing golf, and I'm never going to be a professional golfer. But this sort of sport gives me an opportunity to sort of play against the best in the world. That's what I like about it. You know, I could never play golf with Tiger Woods or somebody like that, but in cards you can sit 9 round the table. If it's your day, it's your day. And you can play against the best.
I like the way this seat started, Jesse. I think this is going to get quite exciting here. All these guys seem to want to be putting their chips in here. Dave played it well. I mean, there's 2 ways to play it. If you're gonna, if you've got the mindset that you want to bluff this hand anyway, you either come out and put your chips in, or you check raise. Either way, you win the pot there.
We were saying earlier, Ian, that it seemed in this tournament there were so many heats that were won just by the factor of the person getting the best cards, and that we needed to see more people just going out and trying to win the heat no matter what they got. We've seen that already.
We are, yeah. That's why I'm really looking forward to this one.
A limp in from LaSalle Barrow, and the blinds are in as well here in Charalambous and Clayton. 6,000 in the pot. I think they've all missed completely.
Check. Check.
Although a jack would make Clayton a straight.
All checked.
And this pot officially up for grabs, I guess.
Yeah. 6,000 in there. Anyone who wants to put 6 in will pick it up.
There's a bet that looked likely to win the money, but LaSalle Barrow's holding on.
Pass.
And will Clayton fire again?
Push again, he should do. He will now.
He sure will.
The only thing that might scare him is the clubs, Jesse.
6,000.
Doesn't look like a man who is scared.
Well, it's a value bet. You know, he knows if he's got any bit of this at all, he's going to call the 6.
Barrow probably didn't like the club either. He might have been picking off a nice bluff here, and that.
Yeah, he's going for it.
It's interesting because I was just thinking to myself, Dave is probably betting here because he knows that Barrow can't raise him without having the hand.
And I think,
but here he is doing it.
Clayton will only
10,000 more.
Clayton will only call this. I don't think he'll re-raise, Jesse. He's just called this. You've got a pair on board plus 3 clubs.
Call.
There you go.
He doesn't expect to win that side, but the straight is going to win. And I have to say, I think it was a very courageous bluff by LaSalle.
Yeah, they all look like they're up for this, don't they, this heat?
Yeah,
I mean,
I like it. I mean, you know.
It's the last of the heats before we go into the semi-stages, and it looks like it's going to be one of the better ones.
He's really been on a roll lately, has this young Dave Clayton. 2 final televised tables, looking for that big win on TV. But the way he plays, it can't be far off. And on the internet, they consider Clayton a bit of a demon devil as well. He promises good things here as Darren Bloom looks down.
Pass.
So here comes the
Call.
cell.
Call.
God, the aces again.
Amazing. That's 3 aces already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Raise to 9,000 total.
JC, John Charalambous, the real pair here of sevens. And just made it raise slightly larger, I guess, because of the
Pass.
limpers.
Yeah. There's a nice couple of cards there. What Dave had, Dave Courtney. Up to a raise, you'd be wanting to lay them down.
Call.
Barrow
Pass.
and Alexander both suited, but only Barrow going to peel the flop off. Which, good news for, there's only one ace in the deck, but the good news for Barrow is if he hits it, he'll have it.
Well, that's a massive flop for him, really.
Sure is.
I know it's bottom pair, but he's
Check.
got bottom pair with a nut flush draw.
He very well may be favorites over the 2 sevens here.
15,000.
It's 50-50, is it just about? He's got,
He's probably thinking to himself, he's a bit short chipped. Does he make his move now, Jesse?
would you?
I don't know. It's only 5 hands, I suppose.
Call.
Oh my, was the bet 15,000? That's
Yeah.
that's pretty serious.
Yeah, they got 50,000 in the pot now.
Just not sure if LaSalle can afford to lose this pot here.
Let's just see if the calls slow him down a bit, the sevens.
Yeah,
If he checks here,
Check.
strong play here by Charalambous. and he's betting.
20,000.
yeah, nice bet as well.
And I'm always wondering about those odds. I mean, does it, if it reflects the fact that we've seen 2 other aces out, which are 2 and a 3 as well.
If he knew there was other aces dead, you wouldn't even be contemplating this because you know, he can only hit the spade.
Looks like he's looking at what the all-in will cost.
It'd have probably been better off Jesse coming out and moving all in,
Raise.
all in when it was his bet.
For sure.
You know, if he's got it in his mind, he's going to be playing the end. That would be what I would do. I'd get the bet in first, and he's got every chance of taking the pot down there and then.
Yeah, this re-raise all-in only. Oh, it's only about 30,000 more. I mean, Charalambous will convince himself that he might have the price to try and hit a 5 or a 7.
Yes, still a strange call. I mean, I wouldn't be calling this.
You wouldn't call with
No,
the 7s.
No.
Save your money.
Yeah.
It's very hard to put Barrow on a hand you can beat.
Yeah. Well, even if he puts him on a flush draw, he's got to figure that he's probably going to have 2 overcards on him as well.
I guess the most likely hand for Barrow to have is it a queen? I mean, wouldn't he have raised a flop with a queen? Maybe he flopped
Well,
a
he did.
set? I don't.
He did. He smooth called under the gun, didn't he?
Pass.
And then the other chap raised, and he called his raise straight away. So you've got to put him on something.
Either way, LaSalle has taken the pot with a strong move on the turn.
Yeah.
And he's come here. He's come here to play.
Yeah. They all have by the looks of it.
I remember the first time Barrow played on television, and I don't even think he knew the word raise. Here today, he's moving his chips around like a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Could be right.
He's picked up 7s now.
Call.
Barrow was looking
Pass.
like he was going to be the first
Pass.
player out.
Yeah,
Now
he's-
he's
Alexander's
Pass.
definitely got his mind
Raise.
set to play
8,000.
solid. He passed the
8,000 more,
8-8
10
like it
total.
was 3-9.
And this is Courtney from the small blind with the re-raise. Or,
How much more? 8.
8 call.
you know, actually, I think LaSalle Barrow limped,
Call.
and Courtney's raising out of the small blind. That's brought Bloom in with the king jack. And
These guys definitely want to
Call.
see some cards, don't they, between
Yeah.
them? Which is what we haven't been seeing a lot of lately. It's been a lot of raise, pass.
I'll tell you, one of the great things about poker is when you can see flops. That's a perfect one for Dave Courtney.
Yeah, you like that.
Check.
Whew, that's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
Up against 2 other players as well. Not bad. I think one of these guys
Check.
makes a bet. He might put a re-raise in. He can't resist this, look.
You would never imagine that a guy would flop top pair and check after raising
Yeah.
from the small blind.
Check.
It's
More often than not now, Jesse, that'll slow everything down.
oh, I don't
Check.
think so.
Oh,
It's
no,
made,
yeah, of course he's got the ace of diamonds.
it's made Barrow 3 7s. It's made Courtney. I think Courtney just tried to check again with the intention
Yeah.
of check raising, and now Darren Bloom's going to have a go at this. Something
And I
tells me.
think Barrow's got to raise this,
15,000.
Jesse, worried about the flush.
Well, I don't think Darren's going to be seeing the river.
Raised
There you
all
go.
in.
Yeah.
But what about Courtney?
Yeah, we might get a call here. We might get a call. He's got top pair on the ace.
He's check trapped twice, hasn't
Yeah.
he? And now it's an all in to him.
Yeah.
Look at that face. You don't know what happened. I thought I was trapping, says Dave Courtney. Does this happen a lot, Ian? If you try and trap, you end up tricking yourself?
Yeah, you should do it. Always backfires on you.
Because
The idea is you obviously want to suck out as many chips as you can from the other players. So he figured that was the only way. But I fancy he'd have got a bit of action anyway if he'd have come out betting. He's called.
Call.
yeah, well, he knows he's got the nut flush draw no matter what.
Pass.
Darren Bloom not going to see the river card drawing
Okay,
dead.
gentlemen, cards, please.
And Dave Courtney going to be walking unless hits a diamond on the
Yeah.
river. And
He can't hit the 6 of diamonds.
it's pretty much a live by the sword, die by the sword thing
Yeah,
here. Ian.
yeah. Oof, it was red.
Yeah.
Well, that was a
Courtney
short game.
I'm just going to
You know, you respect the fact that Dave Courtney wanted to win a big pot, and he wasn't scared to go out first.
No.
But he is.
And I figured someone would be gone before they played 10 hands, Jesse, the way they even kicked this off. I mean, they all wanted to see the cards, didn't
Yeah.
I put him on ace-5 of spades. He's got
I don't know if I've ever seen this before. We've seen guys get to 270,000, but in 5 hands?
they? Yeah, fantastic. I think the way these guys are playing, Jesse, anything, this is all still up for grabs. They look like they all really want to play.
Something in the air, or perhaps the water, Ian Fraser. This table just feels loopy.
Yeah, it's probably because it's the last heat, Jesse. They, you know, the semi-finals just knocking on the door now, and
after someone's come out
they got a taste for it.
There is an argument this is the way all the heat should be played. No back down, and everybody trying to win every pot.
Yeah, good, isn't it?
Yeah,
the ace of diamonds, so
it's good for DV.
he didn't
These
get
guys
in
should
there.
all be invited back, that's for sure.
I don't blame him.
Pass.
And, Dave Courtney
Pass.
left with his heart on his shield.
I like Darren's game. He wants to be in the pot, don't he?
6,000
Yeah.
total.
Will he still feel lucky? Yeah, see now he wants to
Call.
play. He's got some chips.
This is what Barrow's been waiting for.
Medium flop here would be nice.
Chance to run and gun.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think Darren's going to come out and have a bet anyway.
8,000.
Because he's got nothing at all on this here. He'll be throwing this in, Jesse. 100 mile an hour.
That's brave. You know, the very first time,
Pass.
this is Bloom's, this is his 3rd or 4th time in one of these tournaments. I remember the first time you could not get him to move a chip. Now here he is. It's the first round of the heat. And he's all in there with a 6-7
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Gotten looser every time. And
Relax, guys. Not first one out. Don't matter.
So he just said,
he
yeah.
loves it.
Huh?
It's been nice to
What,
watch
that
the
previous
development
one?
of him.
I think if I'm honest,
1,000,
on size outclassed, I wouldn't be far. I had trips and then
1,000 for
top
me
pair
this
with an
set.
ace kick and a flush draw. And
Small
You,
blind to be posted.
Like that, you know, there's a lot of clever people
the
who
big
take
one
up
you
this
want, yeah?
game, and it just takes them a little while to get the hang of it, but you know they're going to get the hang of it sooner or later,
Pass.
just on the basis that they've had success in so many other
Pass.
things.
It's a very for people who just love gambling
Raised
and,
to
and
6,000
adrenaline
total.
buzzes, Jesse. It's a fantastic game to start playing because you can win it being a novice, as we all know. So it's just a great game to get involved in.
Re-raise.
Same hand for
There you
Bloom and
go.
Barrow, but Barrow is suited.
He's re-raising, Jesse.
Yeah, and he's got more chips, and it's great stuff. And Darren's
15,000
looking
more.
over, he says, oh, this is what we're about here.
Pass.
It was 6,000 from Bloom. The re-raise, ooh, looking about 12,000 more, I think.
He just looks like he wants to make moves all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah. Darren just had a look on his face that kind of said, I'm going to have to make a stand against this guy sooner or later. Now might be the time.
Looks like he's counting his chips to move all in here.
He wouldn't be wrong, would he? I mean, an all-in would be the proper play right now.
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him call, and I'd like to see Jack flop. And he's past it.
Barrow making noise.
Yeah, good play. Did he just say good pass? No, you know he's got nothing.
Have you ever dreamt of playing poker with the big boys in Las Vegas? Well, here's your chance. You could win a holiday for two, including flights, accommodation, and £500 spending money. All you have to do is answer this question. Who won the World Series of Poker in 2006? A. Phil Hellmuth, B. Jamie Gold, or C. Gus Hansen? You can enter by going to www.5.tv/poker. Entrants must be over 18. Competition closes at midnight on the 22nd of May.
You can find out more about poker by logging onto our website, www.5.tv/poker. Learn the rules, figure out what the best hands are to play, and test your bluffing skills. You can also download video interviews with some of the game's best players.
Pass.
Oh, look.
Oh, boy.
Raise.
If somebody picks up an ace here, they could be walking.
Oh, it's okay. It's 12,000 total.
That could get them on a roll.
From what we've seen of Gavin Alexander, this is a bit surprising.
Call.
Yeah, he's
Pass.
played tight as a drum. It's
Pass.
probably the sheer fact that Barrow's been raising every pot.
Alexander is on the button behind Barrow. Just the idea that if he hits, he's going to get paid. Uh-oh.
It's a shame. If there was two arts there, there'd definitely be action.
Nice.
16,000.
Could you? I could have forgiven
Call.
Alexander for popping a raise in there.
Yeah. Well, if he thinks his eight's good, maybe he should have. Well,
Oh, he's just hit two pair. I mean, it just seems to me if Alexander.
Check.
Wow. And now Barrow's trap checking. If Alexander thinks that he's not going to get a bet into on the turn without Barrow having him beat, I think he might have been wrong there. But
yeah.
This is going to open the game up wide because Barrow's not folding, is he?
No.
30,000
He's gone all
raised,
in.
all in.
He's gone all in. Unbelievable.
Oh, this is beautiful stuff.
How many chips has he got left? What's he got behind? 30,000. He's
Yeah.
called anyway.
Call. Okay, gentlemen. you've
Gavin
got
Alexander all in, but actually leading right now because of the card on the turn. Barrow's got outs, though. A 4, a jack, or an ace.
Yep.
And one card to come. That's pretty much the story. This would open the game up wide if Alexander can make this hold. And it has.
Yeah, that's another fun.
And I guess for the sake of the game, it's
holding up.
I think he'd have run right over the table, Jesse, if he'd have won that one.
I think it might have set the world record. It might have been
Yeah.
over in 10 more hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at that hand again, it is hard to feel sorry for Barrow, but he did have the best hand there on the flop. Alexander caught up on the turn, making 2 pair, which beat 1. And LaSalle still chip leader, but much closer now.
Their gut instinct has to be right, and their timing spot on to win a seat in the semifinal. Find out who will make it after the break. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. These guys have been planning their strategies for months, but have they stuck to their plan, or is it all going wrong for these pros? We go back over the table to Jesse May and Ian Fraser.
Clayton does look like he's all alone down there at the end, the way he's got his body turned to other players.
Pass.
Bit of a sign he doesn't want to turn his back to them. Not sure what'll happen.
I think that's probably how he grew up playing with his back to the wall,
Raise,
Jesse.
7,000 total.
And I have to say this is a bit of a shame for Darren Bloom. I think he's going to be all in before the flop here. Just Barrow's come over the top of him before from the same position, and just
Raise.
Re-raise.
just kind of automatic, isn't it?
10,000 more. 17 total.
Oh. Well, this could get interesting.
Yeah, I can't see him playing myself.
Well, with a raise and a re-raise, is the right situation here for him to
but
fold? Yeah.
Do you want to take a chance and just call open to it a 7? I mean,
You can afford it.
you're 7 to 1. So.
Cool.
Say, he's not to know what Bloom's about to do. I mean, Bloom is capable of raising all in here.
Yeah, he is.
That might have been an argument for
tentacle.
not playing.
He might want to put 10 in, only because there's 3 players in the pot now, you know, with a matching ace.
Do you feel like Bloom would have moved over the top if Alexander hadn't have been involved?
Not really sure, Jesse. He's given us the impression that he's likely to do anything, and he's already done it once. He might think that he's getting good odds here just to call this. 10,000.
Fancy the biggest problem for Bloom right now is he's not sure if he's going to like hitting an ace. I mean,
So, yeah.
he might think he needs to hit a 9.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Oh.
Oh, well. I am on the button, says Bloom.
He's got a bit of value, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got some value.
Pot's 51,000.
Well, this is a lovely flop for the 9s and the 7s.
Check.
God, LaSalle's tricky tonight. I mean, Alexander can't check, can he?
I'd be. No, he's got to put a bet in, hasn't he? Just
He's got to
at
put the
least
other
to
guys
see-
on overcards, doesn't he?
At least to see where he is. You know. He's got to bet something here, Jesse.
I think he's checked it now. It's actions on Darren Bloom, who's got the worst hand right now and is staring hard at his stack.
I think if he makes one.
25
Oh no, he must have
20,000.
put a bet in.
I missed it completely.
Pass.
Sorry. He has put a bet in.
Sorry,
Alexander's bet 20,000.
If he has, we could see a raise here. I know he likes going all in, but I can't see him shoving all his chips in here. But he might well want to just put a little re-raise in.
It's interesting because I feel like Alexander now thinks he has the best hand here.
Well, it's a bit because like when Barrow's put a raise in, he's only flat called. He can't put him on a big pair, can he? He can't expect him to have sort of jacks, queens upwards, because he'd have come over the top then. So you've got to put him on a similar hand to
Raise.
yourself. Yeah, he's raised, you see.
This is a good move by Barrow.
75,000 more.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
Darren
And
Bloom
I
looks
would-
like he's starting to gonna laugh here.
He's likely to get called because of his previous, the way he's been playing. I wouldn't like to call it myself.
I wouldn't like to fold.
No, because of how the action's gone, you can quite easily put Barrow on a fairly big pair. So I wouldn't really like to be calling this.
I feel like Alexander is put that bet out for information and now has the information.
Yeah, so he's got his answer. You can afford to pass it.
It's tricky. It's tricky. I think what you said, because of Lascelles' previous. I mean, these guys have basically reckoned Barrow's a nutcase.
Yeah, but even if he puts him on a flush draw, Jesse, again, he's got to, you know, if you're putting him on a flush draw, then he's got to have 2 overcards on you. You know, because you ain't gonna raise and then re-raise with low matching cards like that.
Alexander.
So, if he thinks about it, he's got to throw it away. Yeah.
At the end of the day, could it have come down to the fact that Alexander says, "I'll get a better opportunity"?
Yeah, he's probably.
He
He must have just put Barrow on a big pair. You know, thinking about it logically, that's what you got to come out with there. But he's played that really well, hasn't he?
He's been awesome. He has been awesome tonight, has been Barrow. And ended a first level. It's basically been all Lascelles Barrow. I mean, there have been other players in the hands with him, but it's been all him.
Yeah, and it's put Darren Bloom now down to 41,000. He'll be looking to get it in pretty quick. I can't believe we've only had 14 hands, Jesse.
Yeah.
Dave Clayton must be thinking, oh, I'll let these guys get on with it for a while. He normally has a go, don't he, early?
Yeah. Bloom just folding an ace early last hand. Do you think he's decided that he has to really put down the bat and put down the hatches?
Well, it looked like he wanted to play it, didn't he? But ace deuce is a terrible hand. You know, it's not really one you want to be playing. Gavin's picked up a nice big hand here. He's had his fair share of cards.
14 in total.
Yeah. Charalambous, it's a nice looking hand, but he's only got 54,000.
Pass.
It's 10,000 on Clayton. This is...
Oh.
Wow. He suspects larceny.
If he makes the raise too big, he might not be able to get off this if he puts him all in the other
30
guy.
more to call.
30,000 more. So leave Clayton with about 70 in his stack, 75.
I don't think for 1 minute he's not going to go all in here, Jesse.
Why has Clayton made...
Call.
He's called. Why has Clayton made this move? Is
Well,
it to send a message early rather than late?
Yeah, he's just trying to put him off the hand. That's all he's doing. But the thing is now, I mean, with these two guys, whatever the flop, Dave Clayton's going to bet this. So he might have lost his opportunity where he hasn't, not with the ace-king, but there's going to be fireworks anyway, 4 spades.
But the money's all in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Flush draw against top pair.
All
And
in.
But if you imagine the king's not there, Jesse, now
Clayton wins the
Alexander cannot call.
Yeah.
You know, so he lost his opportunity to win
Call.
it unless he flops ace or king.
Bim, bash, boom. And all of a sudden, Dave Clayton all in. This has been an unexpected heat. Although I would imagine these two have to feel like they're playing a pot for who's going to compete with Lascelles Barrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd fancy whoever wins this pot to be the heat favorite right now. Well, they're going to be chip leader anyway.
Oh.
Oh, needs to be a spade, and that's all for Dave Clayton from Blackpool, who does not look very confident right now.
No. No.
And Gavin Alexander takes the money. And the story of that hand, the smooth call before the flop.
Yeah, but it's whatever happened there, he was going to get the chips, wasn't he? But to me, the move was all in.
Dave, you're leaving tonight in 5th place. What went wrong?
Well, I mean, the game is really aggressive at the minute, and the guy's raised on the button, and I've made a re-raise with a mediocre hand trying to pick up his raise, and he's called with ace king, and it's come the worst flop in the world for me really. It's come 2 spades, which means I've got a flush draw, but he's caught his king, so I'm sat here now.
I know you didn't get to play much hands, but did you enjoy yourself?
I enjoyed it a lot, yeah. I mean, it's always fun on TV. Like I say, I've not got going tonight, but it's how it is sometimes.
15 hands, and two players have 85% of the chips between them, Ian.
Yeah, two monster bits of cake there and two little slivers in the middle. Well, he won't be playing them two.
Pass. Pass.
No, he's picked up a nice hand here. He's open and praying he's going to get a bit of action here.
I wonder if it's time for him to trap, Darren, or
Yeah.
if he should, or if it's better to fast play. I mean, what would you be doing against Lascelles right now?
When you're short and you pick up a good hand, you're open and praying. You just want to get your chips in, don't you? Yeah, look, I think he's going to be raising, yeah.
Raise to 16
Because
until.
you'd almost feel like you've missed the opportunity, Jesse.
Right. I mean, if you slow play it,
Yeah, and you
you
get
have to
nothing.
say, well, Lascelles' been playing lots and lots of
Yeah.
flops.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Queen 10. There's no reason that Lascelles would not move all in there based on past previous. But he's going to peel off the flop. And Bloom, this is the best spot Bloom's been in all night.
Yep.
I think it's the first time he's been ahead in a hand, to be fair.
Let's see what we get. Well, we'll be pleased with that, Darren.
They are, yeah.
All in.
Darren in the situation where there was more chips in the pot than left in his hand, in his stack. He's bet 21,000.
Yeah, he obviously he didn't want to see any picture cards, but that flop was ideal for him. I can't see him calling this. I know it's not many chips, but you don't want to be gifting these small stacks chips at this stage, Jesse. You might as well keep hold of them. It don't mean a lot to him, but it'll mean a lot to Darren if he winds up nicking a few more here.
Sell in the tank here. Just trying to balance, as you said, the chances of knocking Bloom out with the chances of doubling him up.
You know, ain't even like he can't draw again anything.
It's all right to take your time if you're using it to think, and I think Lascelles is here.
You know, Darren Bloom must be thinking, what's he got? Because do you know what I mean? It's only a few chips, so if he's got anything, even if he had a king something, he'd be calling, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Or an ace bit, he'd be calling, because it's so few chips. So he must be thinking to himself, what's he thinking about?
I think he's calling. Barrow might be saying, well, if the queen and the 10 would win, then I've got 6 outs. But either way, you think it's just
you can't.
just
You
not
can't
worth it.
think about this game like that. I shouldn't. You know.
No.
How much is the extra? Is it
It's
18?
It's 21,000.
21. Yeah, you don't really want to be giving him 21. He's a lively player, Bloom, ain't he? Why do you want to give him 21,000?
Barrow says, I want to see it. Show me, Sister Kate.
It's just that
You're feeling it.
Yeah,
This is, he'll be well pleased.
Yeah, not many.
Well pleased. Darren Bloom. And has to be a queen on the river. If it's not, Darren Bloom will have doubled up. And this is the first good news that Bloom has had today.
Yeah.
When I'm blooming.
yeah.
He said the one thing.
That long.
Yeah, he
check
just
your
said, I
face
knew you
first,
didn't have a jack. It was obvious he didn't have a jack. It was obvious he didn't have an ace or a king.
If you'd had more chips, I wouldn't have called you. But there you
Yeah,
are.
this is it.
I think that's
get it.
how many
No,
times,
no,
Jesse, we see someone go down really low, come back and near and win the heat.
Okay, you've doubled up. Now it's my turn then.
No, but I was on less than you.
Well,
Okay, I'll tell you what, we both can double up twice again, just to make it a bit more even.
Darren comes from very good stock when it comes to gambling, although to hear him tell it, he's the one who taught his younger brother Tony how to play.
You know, we've been here in the box a couple weeks now, Ian, and there's so many people come in with the attitude they don't want to play flops.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the long run, it does seem that it's hurt a lot of these players because they end up.
Yeah, it does.
Raise
Jesse.
to
He's
12.
got a nice hand here, couple of
Pass.
sixes. Barrow, oh, he's
Of what?
he's
He's made it 12,000. Has Darren Bloom? Pardon me. Has he got enough behind to lay this down?
Raise.
It's tough.
No, I think he'll be wanting a. He won't mind having a flip here. You know, if he thinks he's up against a couple of overcards, I think he'll be getting his chips in double
It's gonna
quick.
be another 2.
Oh, another 2. She said, I think what's happened is he's
24
made
total.
a minimum re-raise, has Gavin Alexander, which means it's 20,000 on Charalambous. It'll only be 12,000 back on Bloom. I think folding
Pass.
is out of the question.
Yeah, it might make a difference, Jesse, because he's got nicked them extra few chips in the last hand. Sixes ain't great, but if you think you're in a 50-50 and you're short, you're going to be wanting to get your chips in.
The question, I guess, Ian, is what does he put
There you
Alexander?
go.
He puts him on ace king, doesn't he?
Well,
All in.
any two overs really.
Called.
Call. On the backs.
I'd be a
And
bit choked to see this.
yeah,
Yeah.
1 queen, 2 queens. Bloom saying, couldn't it have been ace queen? It couldn't have
I'm
been.
struggling.
And it is Darren Bloom all in right now, needing a 6. Did he do anything wrong here?
Well, there's two ways of looking at that. You know, we just spoke about it.
Yeah.
Same difference if he sees the flop. The chips will be going in
They
there.
have to, really,
Yeah.
don't they? Yeah.
Ooh, it's exciting.
Just 2 6s in the pack, and if the snake doesn't hit one of them, he's going to slither away and leave us 3-handed. This is only hand number 19, remember?
Yeah, we're free-handed.
I'll play good luck.
And Darren Bloom, he only lasted 19 hands, but he outlasted
Good luck.
2 other players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
And what a match race this has turned into.
relationships.
I've known him a long time.
Not that long, though.
And he seemed like he was going to be the rock early on, didn't he, Gavin?
He did. He did.
Certainly beats my Tuesday night game.
I'm not sure what the world record here is, Ian, but we're not far off it. 3 players out. And how strong is Alexander right now?
Yeah, well, he's got the whole momentum of the table on his side, isn't he? But the way Barrow plays, anything can happen here, Jesse. I think it's going to be really exciting.
Darren, you're out in 4th place. What happened out there?
Well, that was a pretty action-packed table, to say the least. I mean, I'm out in 4th place and they're still in the 2nd round. I mean, there was some serious action going on there.
Thanks, Darren. We'll be back with more poker action after the break. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. 20 hands in and we're down to 3. This game is moving at a whirlwind pace. Who will be next to storm out of the tournament? We go over to our commentators.
Barrow doesn't want to do to Charalambous the same that he did to Darren, which was double him up unnecessarily. Although Gavin Alexander might just take him out for fun. Is that playable?
Yeah, free-handed on the button. Definitely.
Raise.
Not a big raise.
12 in total.
Triple the bet.
Oh, he'll be
Pass.
getting action here. He's going to put him all in here, Jesse.
Cool.
Oh,
Call.
Gavin Alexander's been
They'll give me too many.
unorthodox tonight, pre-flop.
yeah, I don't know whether he's made that call just with it in his mind. He's going to be all in on the flop, whatever. But we'll soon find out here.
Check. All in.
And it's Charalambous who's out-flopped him. And perhaps...
If he passes, Jesse, then it was a good call with the ace-jack, you know, because he saved chips. But if he calls, then it was terrible pre-flop play.
That seems about the size of it, yeah. based on how big his chip
Could
stack.
be wrong, but I think you're gambling.
You see, if you think that, then you should have had it in pre-flop.
Yeah, based on the size of his stack,
Yeah,
especially. Yeah.
If he's called and then he don't hit the flip, see, I
Call.
can't understand
On the
that.
backs.
Yeah, this is great news for Charalambous. There's only one overcard, and 82,000 will be a well-playable stack right now for the John. What a gut shot, man. Alexander needs, well, he's got a bunch of outs now, actually. Any king, any ace, any 9. You say the turn makes it interesting.
Yep.
What does the river do? Holds it up.
Yep.
And
You know, I can't understand it. You know, it's good play calling if you're prepared to lay it down and you don't hit the flop.
28.
To find out how to be a dab hand at poker, go to our website www.5.tv/poker and watch some tips from the pros to help you out in our exclusive video tutorials. You can catch up with the latest from the tournament news, info on the players, and enter our competition.
button play for Lascelles.
See, now he might raise this time.
Call.
Oh, he's flat called again.
Yes.
Cool.
Call.
I would have expected Alexander to race with that as well. These guys don't even know what they're going to do.
We'll check.
No raise.
These are three pretty
Three good
sets of
ends, yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
18,000 in the pot. And there are some flops that would interest everybody. It's not one of them.
A bit of a scary one, isn't it?
Check. Check. Check.
Queen is what Charalambous needs for the straight.
Oh.
What a beautiful turn card for John Charalambous. Now he's got a straight flush
Check.
draw.
6,000.
Yeah, what a massive drawing hand he's got as
mate,
well.
Yeah. Just wonder what Gavin Alexander is going to do.
6,000.
It looks like a really pretty hand that Alexander has. As a matter of point of fact, he can't beat that much.
It's not a big bet, is it? So you'd be wanting to call it with a Jack Queen.
Just some part of me is thinking about what if the river's a king of spades, which would give Alexander a very strong-looking full house and Charalambous the straight flush. I don't think we've seen a straight flush in this tournament. Barrow was
Pass.
thinking there, he thought, maybe my ace is good. That's a good fold.
Oops.
And any chance Alexander wants to put a tester raise in?
No, I shouldn't think so. Jack Queen, you just want to be calling this. You got some value.
Yeah, so it's only 6,000.
Yeah.
Call.
24, 30,000 in the pot.
One king and the queens and the jacks are Alexander's cards right now to win this pot with. He's got to make a full house. And he's made, that's the right king for Gavin Alexander. Charalambous will be a bit gutted here.
Oh dear. I can't believe you called the king of spades. It's unreal.
25,000.
Wow.
25,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think I was winning until then.
Pass.
I was rising from.
Yeah, Charalambous
Opening and just straight flush.
hoping to get...
I don't know if the king of spades comes, then you do your money.
Absolutely.
Jesse worked that one out 10 minutes ago.
It was a bit unfortunate there. Look at that hand again. When the turn card comes, Charalambous has made a straight. But Alexander has a couple of ways to make a full house. He made one of them. Kings full of queens beats a straight. At this stage right now, it looks like Charalambous is the most aggressive, just by a smidgen. But, you know, over the course of 30 or 40 hands, that can
I think
add
if he had another 80, 90,000 chips, then we'd definitely see it, wouldn't we? But we thought this of Barrow earlier, and he just slowed right down.
Well, he did. Well, I mean, Barrow is doing so many things similar to the way Andy Pyra played last week. It's not even funny, you know. Ran over the table and then decided he didn't want to run over the table anymore, which, you know. Look at this.
more.
A limp in by Gavin with a king 10 suited and a big raise by Charalambous with nothing.
Cool.
Now, Alexander thought he was trapping. Does he think now that he might be trailing?
Yeah, of course, you know. He's got the momentum with him, so whatever the flop, unless Alexander hits the flop straight on the nose, this other guy can bet him off it.
Yeah, Charalambous wants to see an ace, I think.
He'll have trouble getting him off this. This is exactly what you'd want.
This is dire for Alexander.
20,000.
You imagine?
20 to call.
All in.
Yeah, he's got to go all in.
Raise all in.
Yeah. There's one hand that Alexander can't put Charalambous on. It's a 3-6. He might put him on a set or a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But more than likely, an overpair, huh?
Can't put him on 4 or 5, Jesse, when he re-raised him.
It looks most like an overpair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Somewhere between
That's,
7s and
50,
anythings.
60,
Well,
70,
yeah, a bit bigger.
More.
If he puts him on 7s, 8s, or 9s, then he's got a call. But
Right.
if he thinks he's got a bigger pair, or he might even put him on the ace, bit of diamonds, Jesse. You know, he could have ace queen of diamonds, and then he don't want to be calling for anything.
That would be the worst. It's a pretty bad situation for Alexander in that he's only got diamonds to win. You think he's capable of folding these?
Yeah, of course.
78,000 more. He can call and lose, Ian, and still have 200,000.
No, I think if he calls and loses, he gets a bit less than that. He's already got 50 in.
Oh, right you are. Right you are.
So he's down to 238. You know, he'd be on 160. That'd be this would put Charalambous in the chip lead if he calls and loses.
Obviously, if he calls and wins, you'd fancy it's over.
A call.
Man,
Call.
what a call.
On the backs.
I need to pull one.
What did he say then?
He said, I need to pull one.
All right.
He needs to pull more than one if it's a king or 10. And the one is a diamond. Alexander not really saying anything, but clearly he's surprised to see the 3-6. It's Charalambous all in. 2 pair against the flush draw. And that's a great card for Charalambous. Only a diamond, and not the 3 of diamonds neither.
Yep.
And wow.
That's the 2 pairs held up there. You know what would be exciting with TV, Jesse? If when it come to the all-ins, you should, whoever does the calling, they should have to say what they think the other guy's got.
That's true. The secret of that pot getting so big, Ian, was Charalambous sticking in a very unorthodox raise in before the flop.
With a 6-3.
Just sometimes you can make that kind of move at the right time, and
fantastic timing, wasn't it?
You've got to have the metal to take a player out if you're going to make those kind of moves. And Phil Hellmuth has just that.
Okay, how do you take out a player at the table? Let me tell you something. If you think I'm going to take that player out, that's not so good for you, trust me. And if you think this is the weakest player at the table, that's not so good for you because you're not giving that player respect. You have to somehow be able to take this player out without, kind of without disrespecting him. You have to somehow say, okay, yes, I'm better than he is, but if I press that edge, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Let me see what his weaknesses are. If he's playing too aggressively, you can kind of set a trap for him. Or if he's playing too passively, you can kind of raise him a lot. See what his weaknesses are and use them against him.
It's interesting because we did see Gavin Alexander. He made a very nice move earlier. That was sort of a re-raise bluff.
A nice 2 cards here for him.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. That's a nice call.
Call.
Oh, he's just called as well.
It's trappy from both of them, isn't it? Amazing, a couple of 6s pop.
Yeah.
But oh, I know what you're saying. No one's gonna. Oh
Ugh.
wow! And then, well, this is the perfect flop for Gavin Alexander. This is why he did what he did, isn't it?
Yeah.
15.
And you can
Go
understand.
on, just flat call it once. He obviously, it's a bit scary because you know someone could have a 9-10, but
He's gonna get action from Charalambous if he does just flat call.
yeah.
Raise.
Yeah.
He might get action from Charalambous anyway.
I don't know. If
You've got
I,
20.
honestly, I mean, if I'm sitting, you'd be thinking to yourself, what's he raising with? You know, someone's come out betting, and then he raises. He's got one person after him as well. He's got to have something, Jesse. You know, you don't play that way.
He's going to have a lot of time to think about it here, Charalambous. I think he's going to have to use his time wisely because this is tricky. He's in very, very bad shape right now. 4%.
I mean, he's limped in Alexander, and then he's just flat called as well. And then Barrow's come out and bet. He's re-raised. He could even be putting him on kings or aces. You know.
Call.
Charalambous has just decided to call. I was just thinking he'll have trouble putting Alexander on, say, the nuts, a 9-10 for a straight, because I think Alexander would have definitely flat called with the straight, right?
Yeah, 100%, Jesse. Yeah, 100%.
And a nice little fold by Barrow there. He bet out for information with the weak kicker and has taken the hint.
Yeah, it's the first flop he's bet.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Check.
All in.
All in.
Oh, wow. And, you know, you could say it's his rush of blood to the head, or you could say it's a big over bet that might look weak.
Yeah, the quick all-in generally is weak. I think that's why he's done it, or he just don't want to see anything else matching.
He might get on here.
Yeah.
It's,
Alright. 50, 75, 85, 95.
I wonder, is
105,
Charalambous starting to think,
125,
oh, maybe he's got two
125.
pair like Jack-8 or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like this. That's a bit nervous.
Queen Jack.
Queen 10, Queen 9, Jack 10.
The way the hand's played, I would be putting him on kings or aces. The way the game, you know, the hand's developed. That's how I would see it.
Yeah, I mean, Charalambous has to say to himself, what does he put me on?
Yeah.
This is tough. This is big. I think this is Gavin Alexander. No matter what happens, this is Gavin Alexander getting himself back in the game.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Which is, as it is, if Charalambous does call here, Ian, he cannot win. He's drawing dead, which is depressing for him. I mean, you know, you'd at least like to have one out.
$250,000 chips in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. It's 135,000.
Cool.
Oh, he's
Call.
called.
Yes, and
On the back.
See, we should say, what do you think he's got?
yeah,
Very nice. Drawing dead.
yeah, trouble here. Did not think he had that. Is right.
I'll give him back to you now.
Thank you, Don.
They don't even have to turn the river card, but they will. And big situation
Don't fancy
for
raising
Gavin
another one?
Alexander. Jean Charalambous now basically back to where he started. I mean,
and he'll be double pleased with that.
50.
this becoming a story of making the move at the right time. Gavin Alexander was reeling after gifting Charalambous chips earlier. Now he's taking them all back and more.
Yeah, they flip-flopped again.
Everyone has their reasons for winning. For Gavin Alexander, it would mean more than just a trophy.
In the last year, we lost a friend of ours, Alan Matty, and very close friends of his formed a charitable foundation to raise money in his name as in memorial of him. Alan was a big poker player, and him and his friends put on a poker tournament sort of every few months at his mother-in-law's house. And it regularly used to get sort of 100, 120 players on a Tuesday evening. Come hell or high water, they'd fill the seats, they'd hire chairs in, they'd make sandwiches, and all the money received would go to the charity, to any charitable foundation that they could find good use for the money for. they obviously had prizes for the winners and a trophy. I was lucky enough to win that a couple of times. And then recently Alan passed away, and they stepped it up a gear, decided to have a big tournament, and this was the prize for winning that tournament. I'm not playing for the money for me. I'll be delighted to win money for the charity. I'll be delighted to help money for good causes. You know, most of the people here, quite honestly, I think are probably, they're earning a living. They're not doing it for the prestige. I think, it's about cash for these people. That, I'm sure they want to win a title and they want to, up their gamesmanship. But I have different motivations, and I'm perfectly confident that I've got good motivations to be here.
Well, that'll give you some focus. There's been a lot of support for Gavin Alexander in the green room, and even though he's got nearly 2/3 of the chips in play, you still have to seal the deal to get over the line. Alexander cannot throw those away.
Will he try and trap? Yeah, like he did with the jacks. Yeah, nice play. It's nice play if you're prepared to go all in if someone raises you.
Right.
Call. No raise.
Oh!
Not all trappers don't wear fur hats.
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine all the chips to be in the center right now from 1 to 2. If it comes an ace, it'll be most unfortunate. It's interesting flop.
Yeah.
Check. Check.
Check.
Check.
Alexander's got 2 ways to hit a straight, 9 or king. And that's a heart. Has made Charalambous a flush draw.
Check.
I'd like to see him win this pot with a 9 deuce. I would.
I mean, there's 45,000 now. I was just saying, it seemed like anybody could win it right now by going all in. Although, it's hard to know that. The 15,000 bet by Alexander's only gotten 1 hand out. Charalambous needs a heart or a 10 or a deuce.
Check, check.
And wonder what would happen
No,
on the river.
yes,
Yeah.
they see that he's flat called with ace 10 here. So next time, if he raises, they're going to think that he ain't got anything, Jesse. So we'll see if it does happen.
Yeah, it's levels on levels, raising a bit of a tricky issue, as Phil Hellmuth well knows.
Let's talk about the size of the raise. The size of the raise can be really key because most people, a standard raise is 3.5x. So if the blinds are 50 and 100, you would come in for 350. If one person is called, you would come in for 450. That's the standard traditional way to play poker. Now, let's just suppose a lot of people at your table are calling your raises and you don't want a lot of calling. You're going to have to raise even more. Conversely, let's suppose that you have a big hand like aces or kings and you feel like you have to make a raise, but you want some action. You can raise a little bit less with a hand like that. And the size of your raise can really confuse people. Sometimes I'll make a huge raise with a strong hand because people aren't expecting it. Control your raises, use them to fool people.
You've got to be prepared to put your chips in, knowing full well you're behind, Jesse. I don't mean with hands like Queen 3, Queen Deuce, with some matching cards, and hope that you catch something. And if someone calls you, you catch something, you have a little touch, and you've doubled up.
Right. The biggest thing, obviously, that Charalambous wants to make sure he doubles up to 150,000 and is not trying to double up to 80.
Yeah.
And he's getting close to that right now. I would have fancied Charalambous sticking his chips in there, though he's in dire straits. Should stick it in now, maybe. Get it in there. God almighty.
Sadist. Well, something's got to happen here.
Well,
they both check again, that's it.
See, now it's too late, isn't it? LaSalle said.
Didn't bet the ace the first time, they decided to bet it.
Well, this is the logic that you were saying. If Charalambous had an ace, surely he would have moved before the flop.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, he would have there, would he?
Is it?
Eh? Sorry? What did you say?
Automatically now he's hit his card and he's putting himself on the back foot. Yeah, he's got to.
Well, he's done it. And this is really...
Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, I'll bet it. On the backs.
Yeah.
This is trouble for Charalambous. He hit his card and is out-kicked anyway.
Yeah. But he just said then, Barrow, he thought that the other guy had the ace.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, anyway, it's a 6 or 7 for a split.
Oh, yeah.
That deuce, the queen's going to play.
Yeah.
It was
down, it's up.
Cheers, man.
I don't think you need the letter.
And
well done.
he gave it a great run, this John Charalambous.
He did, yeah.
Just a couple of pots he might have played differently. That's all in retrospect. But we're head up. We are head up.
Yeah.
Looking at that hand again. The money went in on the turn. Both players fought and then didn't think they'd hit their card, but the kicker, all important. By a pip is as good as a wink here. 2 9s with the ace-queen winning in the end.
2 players left, both dreaming of the last seat in the semifinal. Can Barrow wheel Alexander out of this tournament? Join us after the break.
Down to the nitty-gritty of this heat for that 1 seat left in the semifinal. And both these players have kind of gotten here by different means, Ian. You mentioned that LaSalle Barrow might have been waiting to get to the heads up before he made his move. And now he's gotten there. Can he close the deal? He's 2-1 disadvantage to Gavin Alexander, who lost a big pot, then won an even bigger one to get himself in this position.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be boring. That could quite easily have been his plan, because he did come out like an absolute lunatic early on, didn't he? Got himself a couple of 100,000 chips and then sat back, and he is now heads up, every chance. Nice 2 cards.
Oh, those are just, yeah, they're pretty. Pretty as a picture, aren't they? He's trying to decide what to do. There's tons of ways for him to play this right now.
What's that, 30,000?
20 more.
20.
It's a minimum raise is what it is. And that's not going to chase Gavin.
No, I think he'd be calling this.
Raise.
Wow. How much? Good thought here. He's decided that LaSalle is not very strong. Well, that's not
to call.
that's not a very...
He's moved all in.
Yeah,
he's moved all in, yeah.
On the backs.
Call, quick call from Alexander. He said, I cannot lay this down. Yeah. And this is LaSalle's chance. Has Alexander mistimed this, or has Barrow just played it clever, or?
Well, he's played the hand exactly right. Oh, look at this for a flop.
Wow. Barrow needs the queen-king to hold because he's all in. He can reverse the rolls, but Alexander needs a jack, a 10 or a 9 to end it and go to the semis. Let's change nothing.
Nothing at all.
9 outs here for Alexander. Straight 80-20 shot there, saying. Oh! Look close, but look again. This game goes on, and LaSalle has doubled up.
He played the hand okay there, Jesse, and it's exactly how he should have been playing all those other fairly big hands he was getting. But he wasn't, was he? He was putting in the flat call. I'm thinking that he's doing it to re-raise, but he wasn't. But he played that perfect. And now he's a new chip leader.
Yeah, you can't win a big pot unless you help build one, I guess.
Yeah.
And LaSalle, now the proud possessor of the most chips he's had all night. Well, if you want to know how to play heads up, we have an international heads up champion on hand.
Heads up is a totally different animal. The value of the hands changes dramatically. A lot of times when I play heads up, and I've just won a couple of big heads up tournaments, what I do is I let the other player dictate the pace. I kind of sit back and play conservatively and wait to see what they're going to do. Sometimes I trap them. A lot of times I'll trap them. I might have 2 jacks, I'll just call. I'm not trying to win all their chips in this hand. I'm trying to just take a nice bite out of them, a nice dent out of them with the 2 jacks. On the other hand, if I'm going to slow play it, I want to make sure that I don't lose all of my chips in this hand. So when I play heads up, if they're playing super fast and raising a lot, then I kind of just sit back. If they're playing really patient, I kind of sit back. I let them dictate the pace and play off of whatever they're doing.
Would you like to jet off to Las Vegas to play poker at the Bellagio, shop at Caesar's Palace, and overlook the city from the stratosphere? You could win a holiday to this amazing city, including flights and accommodations for 2 and £500 spending money. All you have to do is answer this question. Who won the World Series of Poker in 2006? A. Phil Hellmuth, B. Jamie Gold, or C. Gus Hansen? You can enter by going to www.5.tv/poker. Entrants must be over 18. Competition closes at midnight on the 22nd of May.
Might decide he has to move all in here. There's 45,000 to get out there.
Raise.
Raise.
With 30.
30,000
Not
more.
for the minimum raise.
All in.
Oh, wow.
All
Yeah,
in.
King Jack.
Cool.
Call.
He's called as well.
Nice move from Barrow. He'll be quite happy to see this situation. We could have a result here.
Yeah,
Ian.
I think he might have thought he was up against it there. It was a quick call by Gavin.
Gavin saying he didn't have enough left to pass.
No.
He's 6-4 against here. Gavin Alexander needs a queen or a 7. That flop has done very little to change it. 6 cards will put Alexander back ahead. Slight chance of a split pot.
And that didn't help anything.
Well, a 4 would make a split pot now, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But besides that, Gavin,
all over.
he's missed. LaSalle Barrow's done it.
Thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyable.
Did you get bored?
Third time lucky for LaSalle Barrow. A big smile through to the semifinals, and
Good luck to you.
Gavin Alexander, his first time on television, certainly put on a good show.
Well done.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too.
The first round of this tournament is over. The semifinals are full, and the pros are eyeing up the competition. The top 3 players from the semifinals will each win a seat at the final table. One bad move, and they're out of here. Don't miss it next time as the race continues to be champion of this, the PartyPoker.com European Open 3.